welcome to this very special event. Welcome to the J.T. O'Connor Senior Center. We're so glad that you're here today. My name is Mary Civic, and I am the program manager here at J.T. O'Connor. And I know I see a lot of faces, I recognize a lot of faces, but I'm also excited to say there are some new faces in the crowd too. You are in for a very, very special treat today. We have our Silver Stage players. Make sure you put your Sherlock hat on and your spyglass, because you're going to be experiencing a conventional murder mystery. And with that, I'm going to introduce Sandy Phelan. She is the director of our Silver Stage players.
Hi, everybody. Just want to add my welcome to Mary's. It's wonderful to see this many people here. We've got what we think is a good show for you, but we want you to play sleuth and see if you can figure out who done it before the end of the show. Also, before we get started, I just want a reminder, if you have a cell phone with you, please make sure it is turned off, because ringing phones can be distracting to the cast. Okay? Without any further ado, I invite you all to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Trudy, I came in early to set up. I see you had the same idea.
Sure did. How many books did you bring? I only brought a couple of dozen. This convention doesn't usually result in a whole lot of sales.
I probably brought about as many as you, Trudy. Now, I almost decided not to come today, but I do like this convention because they set us up in small rooms in groups like ours, and that way I can see you all and learn about your new books.
I like that. I came early because I get so flustered if I wait until the last minute to get set up. Although very few people come before the afternoon, so we usually have the morning to ourselves.
I like coming in early as well, but me, I usually just leave a few of my books out on display, and the remaining stay in the box. It goes under the table. In a few minutes, I'm ready to go.
Good move. You have to be very vigilant the whole time that you're here, every minute at this place. Last convention that I attended, I had several autographed copies of my book, Grown Legs, and they turned up eventually for sale on the internet.
Trudy, I have a hard time imagining anyone would want to steal one of your books. If it was one of mine, however, that would be a different story.
I'm so sorry. I didn't see you.
No problem. I suppose I need the exercise. Let go and don't help.
What are you doing here? Pinky, you're not an author, and this place is not open to sell anything until the opening time was, which is 10 o'clock, and it's only 9:15.
Oh, the security guys all know me, so they let me in. I never miss any of these shows, you know.
We know.
The Murder of Dr. Watson. Interesting title. Wasn't he Sherlock Holmes' sidekick? Who would want to murder him?
Well, buy yourself a copy, read it, and then you'll find out.
I will. I plan to buy one of every new book on sale here today. I just can't get enough of murder mysteries. And I always guess who done it. Gotta run! Later! Oh.
What a supersized ego in such a small body.
You got that right. And by the way, I've never known her to guess the whodunit correctly.
I just ran into Pinky, literally. What's going on?
Nothing that you need to worry about. What are you doing here anyway, Peter? It's supposed to be writers until 10 a.m. Are those so-called security guards just letting anyone in?
Not just anyone, but the security guards all know me,
So
so...
they just let you in. There seems to be a lot of that going on.
I just wanted to buy an early copy of each of your books.
Why? So you can write more bad reviews?
Nah, I'm sort of doing research.
What kind of research?
Just, research. So do you want to sell me your books or not?
Not yet. Peter, as you can clearly see from the rules and regulations from today's convention, there are no sales before 10 a.m., especially to you.
Okay, if you want to be like that, I'll just go to one of the other rooms. I may, or may not, be back.
Looks like we're 2 for 2 in the getting rid of the pests department.
So what pest did you just get rid of? Peter, I suppose. I just passed him on the way in.
Right, the king of the pest. Still not over Peter's bad review of your last book? And who else?
Oh, Pinky, I don't understand why they let those idiots in so early.
Oh my goodness, is Pinky here already? And has she solved any crimes lately?
More to the point, has she broken anything yet today?
Ooh, looks like this is where we need to set up.
Great, this is the same room as last year. Now all my fans will know where to find me.
Hi, y'all. Which is my spot and which is Sue's?
So you're here.
Oh good, they seated us next to each other as we requested.
I don't see a place for Agatha. Isn't she coming this year?
Not this time. She's hard at work on her next book. It's due to her editor in just 3 weeks, and she's behind schedule.
Well, I didn't think you'd be here today. Haven't you run out of alphabet yet?
Run out of the alphabet? What are you talking about?
Well, you're new to the group, so you probably don't know. She's writing a book for every letter of the alphabet. Like her namesake, Sue Grafton.
I just published. S is for suicide. And no, I am not mimicking Sue Grafton. She stole my idea because I had it first.
It's for suicide. I want one. Is it 10 o'clock yet so I can buy it?
You may have one anytime. You don't have to wait till 10 o'clock. Would you like it autographed?
Sure, that would be great.
And now that I've made the first sale of the day, I have a question for you, Stephanie. Whatever gave you the idea for your latest? The Glowing sounds an awful lot like The Shining, which I believe was written by your namesake, Stephen King. Same plot?
Let's not start the day out like this. We have all of us, borrowed ideas from other authors. Everybody does it sometime or other. Let's just move on.
I have an idea. Since nobody's here yet to buy our book,
Hello, right here.
let's each do a promo for our latest book. I'll go first.
Oh, I have to get to room 3. Channel 8 Live is going to interview Peter.
Now, why on earth would they want to interview Peter? This is an author's convention, and he is not an author.
Well, we reviews our books, so maybe they want his thoughts on our new ones.
But he hasn't read them yet.
Well, that won't stop him from giving his opinion.
How depressing that they would want his opinion. It's not worth the broadcast time they waste on him.
We all agree that he gives lousy reviews, but there are some people that buy the books he pens just because he doesn't like them. Besides, if it helps to sell my books, I'm all for it.
If we are done with all the interruptions, let's continue. As you know, I'm Dora Roberts, queen of romance novels and the occasional murder mystery. My latest book is entitled The Fates. It's a combined romance and murder mystery.
Because, heaven knows, romance and murder go hand in hand.
It's the tragedy of a couple about to be married when the bride-to-be is cruelly murdered. Her fiancé is the prime suspect.
What a creative idea.
Until he passes a lie detector test with flying colors. I won't tell you the rest. You'll just have to buy my book to find out what happens next.
I can hardly wait.
Now, if you really want to read a good murder mystery, you should buy our friend Agatha Crystal's latest.
You mean Murder on the Amtrak Express? I've heard good things about it.
Is that the one about the daily commuters between New Haven, Connecticut and New York City?
Yes, one of the commuters dies suddenly. During the autopsy, they discover it's murder. He's been poisoned.
There's a new idea, probably with the usual plot twist. In fact, I bet even Pinky could figure this one out.
Did I hear my name?
Oh.
What's going on?
We were just discussing how well you figure out who done it.
I know. I always know who the killer is by the time I'm halfway through the book. It's a gift. I'll buy one of your new book if you'll autograph it for me.
Sure.
Here you go.
Credit card and sort the autograph for you.
Thank
Want
you.
one of my books too, Pinky? I have some already autographed to save time.
Yes, please. Tricky 20. Great title. What's it about?
Do tell, Janet. Is that anything like Janet Ivanovich's Tricky 21? Or is the title just a coincidence?
It must be a coincidence. I never heard of that other book. Mine is about a man nobody likes who is found dead. And there are so many suspects that the police, they just keep running in circles.
And yet another plot that no one has ever thought of before. Aren't we a creative bunch?
I already know who killed him. It was his wife. Because she caught him cheating on her. See, I always know.
Wrong. He wasn't married.
Well, then it must have been his fiancée or a girlfriend. Everyone who gets killed in murder mystery is either married or has a fiancé. I think it's some kind of rule.
There's no such rule. Oh, never mind.
Moving right along, let me tell you about my latest book. It is very creative. It's called Hot-Blooded Murder, and it tells the story of an FBI agent who is in charge of a murder investigation.
Wow, very creative so far.
I know, but the creative part comes next. While he is investigating the murder, and there a relationship, a connection between that murder and ancient Greek mythology, he himself suddenly becomes a suspect. And Pinky, the victim was not married or engaged.
Oh my goodness, that is creative.
Wow, very interesting, but not exactly up to the standard that I set for myself.
Oh my, we should all listen to the paragon of wisdom now.
As previously mentioned, the title of my newest work is The Murder of Dr. Watson. But it's not actually Dr. Watson who's murdered. The heroine of our book attends a costume party where there's a man dressed as Dr. Watson who's murdered. So, was it a case of misunderstanding, or was the costume man the real target? Now, that's real suspense.
Oh, I forgot. Did I buy your book yet? If I didn't, I want one. Autograph, of course.
I don't believe so. And remember, all sales are final.
Thank you. Is there anyone else whose book I haven't bought yet?
Okay, ladies, time flies when you're having fun. It's almost lunchtime already, and food will be served in the private cafeteria from 12 to 2. Sorry, Pinky, only writers allowed. So should we go in shifts like we did last time?
That sounds great. And we can all cover for each other in case someone actually wants to buy a book. I'll go first since I skipped breakfast. Who else would like to join me?
I will. And since it was your idea, Jessica, why don't you come with us? The rest of you can go when we get back.
It seems we have a pretty unique group of characters in this place. But they're all friends, but have you noticed a touch of cattiness in their voices as they get together? In a way, they're all in competition with each other, so that might explain it. So far, their morning has been very slow. Pinky is the only buyer. Peter's visit was mercifully brief, and there are no lectures this afternoon. Let's see if things pick up in Act 2.
That was an excellent lunch. Don't you just love chicken? I even asked for an extra helping to go, so I wouldn't have to cook supper.
I guess if you like chicken, seems to me that's all the caterers know how to cook. Doesn't matter where you go or why. If it's catered, it's chicken.
Well, at least it wasn't dry and overcooked like it usually is. Mine was nice and juicy.
Speaking of juicy, did anyone hear that juicy rumor that's spreading around?
I haven't heard anything. What rumor?
It seems everyone is out looking for Peter. He was supposed to meet with a Channel 8 Live interviewer, a reporter for an interview, but he never showed up. Everyone knows that Peter never misses an opportunity to appear on television.
That's what I heard. In fact, we may have been the last to see him this morning. There's speculation that he was kidnapped, but I can't imagine why. He doesn't have any money or rich relatives.
I heard that too. I don't think they found a body yet, but some think he might even have been killed.
Killed? Is he married? It's usually the spouse who is the murderer, you know.
He used to be married. Now I understand his ex-wife is real sweet. He isn't, which is probably why she divorced him. She definitely wanted to kill him, but divorce was easier.
Is your arm hurting you, Sue, with all that patting yourself on the back? You being that sweet wife who divorced him.
Does he at least have a fiance?
No, Pinky, no fiance that we are aware of.
Now that's weird.
I know that look. What are you thinking, Sue?
Peter's probably not dead, but it's really dead around here. Get it? Dead around here.
True. So,
Let's suppose someone is dead. We could come up with book title, possible murderer, motive, you know, the whole can of worms. Eventually, we may all write those books someday. I'll go first.
I'm in, but I'll go first. I already have a title in mind. The title, A Killer Convention. And because he doesn't have a wife or a fiancé, well, perhaps the ex-wife could be the murderer. She creates a distraction and then stabs him in the heart with a hat pin.
Great, that would be okay.
Oh, well, details. I mean, it could have belonged to her mother, perhaps. And am I expected to be coming up with such a complex plot on such short notice?
Very funny, Jessica. Now I propose D is for dastardly. I wrote that book several years ago. The victim brought it on himself because he was the dastardly one.
I'll bet he had a wife. And she killed him for it because he was dastardly. Oh, what dastardly mean anyway?
It means wicked and cruel.
Oh.
And that could apply to Peter now that I think about it.
If the shoe fits, wear it, I always say.
Where would she get a hat pin? No one wears hats that need pins anymore.
Oh, those details. I have another idea. Murders at the writers' convention. Every single writer ends up dead. Turns out they killed each other because they couldn't stand the competition. That I could write as a satire.
That would be interesting. There would be so many dead bodies and spouses and fiancés involved that no one could guess the ending. But I have one question. Who would kill the last one?
If it were me in that dreadful role, that crazy thing, I would probably kill myself.
Oh, come on, we all love each other too much for that to happen here. Besides, a little competition for the #1 book of the year is good for the soul.
That's true, although that might make a good plot, since you don't read about authors killing each other off every day.
From the sublime to the ridiculous. Ooh, how about if one person witnesses a murder, but no one believes her? Instead, they all turn on her and accuse her of being the killer. A good title might be Witness to a Murder.
Interesting, but we would need a motive.
Murder and motive. Who would kill him and why?
Now, based on this convention, the victim could be Peter. But no, I am not your murderer. You all provide my alibi.
Well, there is no murderer because we all alibi each other.
Well, okay, so maybe the caterers, they served bad food and he died as a result of food poisoning. There wasn't really a murder at all.
Anybody want my doggy bag?
In my book, Hot Blooded Murder, the murderer's adult son has taken money from her under false pretenses. And she didn't file a police report, supposedly because he's her son. But the real reason is that she wants revenge for herself.
Good so far. How does she do it?
Well, at her first opportunity, she uses a rare poison. I'd have to look one up. It looks like a natural death until buy my book and read about how it all turns out at the end.
I started to read your book until I fell asleep, so I still don't know the ending.
Let me take a turn. Let me take a turn.
Well, go ahead, Shirley.
Murder!
Give it your best shot.
For the fun of it. But there would be no guns.
What are you talking about?
You said best shot. I don't like guns. So there would be no shooting on my books.
Good point, Pinky. But I have a question for you. Why would murder be fun?
Yeah, you all make it fun when you write about it.
You're absolutely right, Pinky. Who would the victim be and who would kill him?
Maybe there was a blackmailer and he was blackmailing everyone. So they all took turns stabbing him. They all had like a party and invited him there, and he came and they all took turns stabbing him with a thick knife.
That's as good as anything I've heard so far today.
Well, you haven't heard mine yet.
We can hardly wait. Go for it.
How about a book about a writer's convention? Everyone in there turns up dead. When the police start to investigate, they narrow it down to the people who have bad reviews, which is everyone. So, we can call it the Deadly Review.
That one makes me nervous. Too close to home. Peter has given us all bad reviews, and now he's missing. I do hope he's okay, and I definitely do not want to be a real suspect.
Well, Peter's never liked any of our books. He's always given all of us bad reviews.
Well, he's probably dead. We should get our alibis ready.
Oh, he can't be dead. That doesn't happen to people we know in real life. Actually, I wish he'd write something so we could review his work.
I'd like to review his reviews right now.
Okay, maybe this wasn't the greatest idea. Most of the plots have already been used before. Here's one last thought. Maybe we could all get together and write one book entitled One Less Dastardly, Hot-Blooded Reviewer on the Amtrak Express.
Great idea. Peter has given us the perfect plot. The problem is, though, it would be hard to pick a killer. We might have to go back to having everyone stab him with a cake knife.
I need everyone's attention, please. There's been an apparent murder, and I'm here to investigate. My name is Hedda Stone, Officer Hannah Stone.
Why did she come right there? Why did she come?
The plot thickens. What happened to Peter? And who is this mysterious officer? Why is she sitting there taking notes? Do you think that any of the plots suggested by our writers are in fact what really happened? Let's see if you, like our Pinky, can solve the whodunit before the end of the show. Let's check back in with our nervous group of authors and find out. Act 3 begins now.
Now that I have your attention, I want to restate that there's been an apparent murder. And you are all potential witnesses, not to mention possible suspects.
Oh, not me.
No one is to try to leave this building. Sit down, Pinky. The rest of you sit down, too. You can leave when I tell you to.
But you don't need me here. I have nothing to do with him. I barely know him.
All of you were the last to see him alive. So I have questions for you. How did you know Peter?
He reviewed my books. That's how we all knew him.
Oh, don't forget to tell her he was your ex-husband. That might be important.
Thank you, Pinky.
Is that true? You were married to Peter?
We used to be married, but I hardly recognize him when I see him now. Which is rarely.
We could attest to that. She only sees him at conventions like this when the rest of us see him too.
Is that so?
Maybe he is married again. Or has a fiance or girlfriend. That's who usually turned out to be the murderer, you know?
Oh, that's right, and I agree with Pinky. It's a well-known fact. So since none of us were that close to Peter, we all get to leave now, right?
There is no such rule as that in writing or in life. Everybody sit down.
Okay, let's get this over with. What do you want to know?
What time did you see him last?
I think it was around 9:30. It was definitely before the opening time of 10 o'clock.
Did he seem normal? Was he acting oddly or distracted?
Peter? Normal? That's a good one. He never acted normally. He was always odd. So there was nothing out of the ordinary, if that's what you mean.
Really? Do all of you agree with that?
Oh, no. I don't agree. Peter is always nice. I always read his reviews. Then I run out and bought the books.
Well, it looks like you don't have a motive. I'll eliminate you as a suspect. You can leave now.
But I want to stay and help. I solve a lot of murders, you know.
You do? Are you a police officer?
Oh, no. I just love murder mysteries. And I always solve them before I finish the book. I'm really good at it.
Well, if I need your help, I'll ask for it.
Oh, well, since he didn't have a fiancé or a wife, I look closely at his ex-wife. Maybe he had a will leaving all his money to her, and she killed him for it.
Don't be ridiculous. I could never convince him to write a will while we were married. Besides, He's poor as a church mouse, the last I knew.
So if I believe that, who do you think did it?
I have no idea. Why don't you ask Stephanie? She writes a lot of weird murder mysteries with crazy motives. She may be able to help you out.
Thanks a lot, Sue. Well, I may write about a lot of creative murders with creative motives to them, but in real life, I wouldn't hurt a fly.
Let me be the judge of that. A short while ago, I heard you describe a murder as clear as if it had just happened. I wrote it all down here in my notebook. Explain that to me if you can.
What? When?
When all of you were proposing plots for your new books. I was listening, and I'm not sure I liked what I was hearing. Sue, you said that Peter was killed because he was dastardly. That could give you a motive. I can't let you off the hook.
No.
That's right. You all describe a way Peter might have been killed. Was it you, Stephanie?
I don't remember what I said.
You said everyone stabbed him with a cake knife because of bad reviews. Peter never likes your books, so you had a motive.
Peter never liked any of our books. Anyway, at lunch today was cookies before dessert.
Even so, Stephanie, answer the question. Did you kill Peter? What do you got to say for yourself?
Yeah.
Dessert at lunch today was cookies. There was no cake. So therefore, there was no cake knife. Satisfied?
Oh, she's got a point.
I guess she does. But what made you get that plot? Well, especially since there was no cake served here today.
I don't know. It could have been a memory from somewhere. I might have read about it. But I write about all sorts of murders with all sorts of creative motives. I don't know.
Interesting. How about you, Dora? In your book, it was accidental, from food poisoning. Do you think the caterers are responsible for Peter's death?
Absolutely not. We all ate their food and none of us got sick.
Good point. So what made you think of food poisoning?
I think I read about a similar thing happening in the newspaper a little while back. Such things do happen in real life, you know.
Hold on. Is that why you killed Peter, Jessica?
What? No.
Because you said
I said a lot of things. I mean, I'm a writer, so.
Food poisoning. You say it happens all the time? Maybe right here with these caterers? Well, if it wasn't food poisoning, how about you, Jessica? You had an interesting twist in your plot. The wrong person was murdered? A case of mistaken identity?
I told you. Agree. Is that why you killed Peter, Jessica? Because you thought he was someone else.
For the last time, no, I didn't. Who would I think he was anyway? Besides, I wouldn't kill anyone.
Do you think it was Jessica?
No, I don't.
See?
But let me ask you, Jessica, how did you come up with that idea? Did you read it somewhere? Did it actually happen in a real murder? Or did you just come up with it out of thin air?
Well, it was an original idea. I mean, all my books are based on original ideas. You know, I'm a writer, so plots just come to me.
We know you, except when you make a few small changes from the original plot.
Repeat after me. Out of thin air.
What?
I said, repeat after me, please. Out of thin air.
gonna do that. What on earth does that even mean?
Oh, it's just the title of the book in Room 3, written by Joanne Grisham.
That has nothing to do with this investigation. I think I'm just about finished here. I'll be leaving.
Don't let her go! I think she's a murderer.
What?
She's not even an officer. She's an author. She wrote the book out of thin air. And her name is Joanne Grisham.
You're right. I am Joanne Grisham. I'm not an officer. But how did you know?
You talked to me this morning when I bought your book. And I suddenly recognized you when I heard you say the title of the book, Out of Thin Air. I wanted to make sure you say it again, just to really be sure.
It's the little things like that that trip you up. But I didn't murder anybody.
Oh yeah? Prove it!
I don't know about anyone, but she didn't kill me.
She's
As you can all see, I'm still very much alive.
You rat, you're alive. Why did you make everyone think you were dead?
Well, for one thing, I wanted to see if anyone would care. I'm not sure I got the answer I was looking for.
Of course we care. What is the other reason?
I've admired you all for many, many years. The books you write are amazing. They're some of the best I've ever read.
Then why have you always given us such bad reviews?
Just out of envy, I guess. I've taken a lot of classes on how to write, and I mean a lot of classes. I think I'm pretty good now, and I'd like to give it a try.
Well, go ahead. We can take the competition.
I'd like to, but I have one problem.
What's that?
I know how to write, but I don't know what to write about.
Okay, I get it now. So, Officer Stone, Joanna, whoever, was here spying on us and taking notes to pass those on to you.
Correct.
I'm not surprised. You never had an original idea in your life.
Actually, he did. He's the one that suggested I use the name Head of Stone.
And what is so original about that?
It's an anagram. You take the letters and you shuffle them around and it spells
Dead honest?
Dashed note?
Handed toes.
heated snod. Heated snod? No, it spells he's not dead.
Aw, Peter, that is so special. Peter is really nice and very smart. I bet he can be a great writer if he wants to.
You haven't made a great reviewer, Peter. Maybe you can do better if you write books yourself.
And we can help you with writer's block. We all get it.
You're all being so good about this, and I was such a jerk. I should have just come right out and asked for your help. I'm sorry.
We forgive you if you promise to just ask next time.
You might have a promising future as a writer, Peter. I mean, you certainly had them going for a while today.
Maybe that's the title of your first book. The Murder That Wasn't.
Does that mean you're all going to buy all of our books now?
Absolutely.
I have one last thing to say. It's a good thing I was here today to help solve this mystery. I always figure